So here is the Xpro 2 with the 27mm 2.8 WR lens with the aperture ring on, at my workstation, just kind of showing you, the comparison in size and against the Fuji X100T. So this is the old, model, the third in the X100 series. So I've been playing around with both of these. The X Pro 2 is my drop dead, ain't going nowhere camera. Definitely not selling that. But I wanted to experiment with the X100. This is my very first one. I never had one before. And so initial thoughts is that it's definitely a little smaller, a little bit, definitely lighter, smaller. And I like that about it. The pancake lens, obviously it's a fixed lens, so it's built in. Compare that to the 27's interchangeable. So I'm gonna line them up side by side so you can kind of see this angle of it. So look at it from this point of view, and you can see that very close. X Pro 2 with the 27 sticks out a little more, a little bit more. Very highly not noticeable, right? A little more. In terms of height, yes, definitely taller. Definitely taller. Not much. And then from a width perspective, it definitely is a little bit slightly wider. Slightly wider. So you can see it right there. Slightly wider. So very close, very close. But those dimensions, when you really add them up from each angle, it definitely has a feeling of a smaller camera. So now I would say the grip, here's the difference for me. Big difference for me. I'm a guy who is handling is a big deal for me. I value handling a lot because, these are tools. You're going to use them a lot. You're going to have them with you everywhere you go. And so for me, the grip is the huge difference. So what I did, I put some dragon grips on this camera. I don't know if you can see that. Put it in the light. Put some dragon grips on the thumb area because there's literally no thumb grip, right? So there's no thumb grip here to kind of give you a little point of, to hold on to. So I put some sticky things called dragon grip that I get from Amazon. I've been using these for quite a while to help with, ergonomics when I'm using cameras for a long period of time and other things too, not just cameras. And then I also put some on the front. So put a couple strips of dragon grip right there to help me just maintain some stability so I can use it. And it definitely does work. It gives you a little bit more, rigidity, and especially around the thumb and then right around the front here. So you can get, when your fingers are kind of touching and because you got to get a pinch on this camera because it doesn't have much of a grip. You got to get a pinch, and that pinch, if you have some grip there, some rigidity, some rubber, some adherence to the fingers, it will help you get a grip on it and feel more secure because the body's, natural, naked leather is very smooth. This is actually very slick and smooth and doesn't have much of, rigidity to it. So that's where I found the issue. The X Pro 2, on contrast, they did a very good job of making this camera stock very well. So there's a thumb kind of spot right here. There's a little ridge that sits right here. As you can see, I actually put some dragon grips on the buttons because the buttons are so recessed I can't feel them. So now I know when I'm touching them, when my eye is up to the viewfinder, I can feel the buttons. So I kind of just cut these little pieces and stuck it there. So it works out really well, so I can kind of feel it. Just kind of slide my finger down, boom, I know I got my button right there. So Q, and that's the AEL button right there. Well, you can set it to AEL. That's what I did. Autofocus lock. AFL. And like I said, this has a little thumb ridge right here, so your hand naturally kind of pinches right there and kind of keeps it there. But also in the front, excellent design where there's this rubber right in that ridge there, right? So this does have that same smooth leatherette that's not really sticky or grippy, but they used a rubber material right in that groove and around it, so right on the top and in the groove, and that really makes it, so when you're pinching the camera like so, you feel that grip right there. You feel that rubber right in there, and that's excellent. Love that. So straight out the box, I feel good using this. And I do have grips for the Xpro 2 as well to beef it up. So when I'm using bigger lenses, it gives it a nicer appearance, and it gives me even more grip. But out of the box with this lens especially, I could just use the grip out the box. I can't say that about the X100. So I'm assuming the other X100s are just like this. I've looked at models online, pictures of them, and although this is an older model, they didn't really change this grip very much. They added probably a little bit more of a hump here, but I think it's still smooth and doesn't have a whole lot of rubbery grip or anything like that. So just wanted to show that. Just helping you guys out make decisions out there, because the hot topic is the X100 series, and you might consider an old one like I did and try it out and just compare it to maybe an X Pro as an alternative. You never know. So I actually have both, so I said why not. I don't know how long I'm going to keep the X100T. I am going to experiment it, but there's definitely redundancy between these two cameras, and at some point I'm gonna have to make a decision. And so my decision is definitely going to be to keep the Xpro 2, especially for pro work. This is going to be the one. Dual card slots. It's weather sealed. It's fully weather sealed, weather resistant rather, with these two lenses. With this lens and this body, that's a weather resistant combo. I have the dual card slots. I got 24 megapixels. So there's definitely more, I got the joystick. It's just a better version of this. I do like this. I used it over the weekend and really shot with it, like literally, extensively. So, it feels really good to use. I like the X-Trans 2 with the 16 megapixels because, I'm used to that X-T1, which was my gateway into Fuji. And this is the exact same, sensor and megapixels. So I love the output of that. Has something a little different than the 24s. I still like the 24s, and listen, if you shoot raw, you can get whatever you want out of it. But I think this may not make the cut long term, but it's going to be a good experiment. And then I'm going to put this up for sale and let it go and see what else, whatever other experiments I'm going to have. So that's all I got. Just wanted to do that for you guys. So see you on the next one.